Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Saturday morning sit down.
Welcome back. On our sit down, we're speaking with Operation Hope Foundation founder Robert Key about his engineering trust in charity. Now, what does that mean? From anti-fraud systems to last mile verification, Robert shares how Operation Hope Foundation has maintained an 80% benefit to cost ratio for over 20 years while helping children in Nepal and Cambodia. The list of things that Robert has done is so long we can barely get into all of it, Robert, but we're going to try to get into many of the things today. Thank you so much, first of all, for coming in and spending some time with us here on Money FM.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
So before we start, you mentioned early on that you had a start in radio. Tell us about that.
Yeah, my first job was at Radio Television Singapore as a sound engineer.
Back when?
1973.
And what did you do? What was your job?
I started sound studio and maintaining the equipment, and at that time, the technicians were outside, so only microphones in the room, and all the mixers and all that were outside. And then when we moved to a new radio building, I was helping to design the studio, reverberation, different studios have different reverberation things.
Yeah.
So I was involved in all this.
And who were the DJs back then? Was Brian Richmond there then?
I don't think so. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that was very long ago.
You can't remember. It was more than 50 years.
Well, and it's funny, that obviously the technology behind the scenes has changed a lot.
Yes.
We have these screens now that have everything's electric and computerized. But basically, we're still sitting in front of microphones. We're still talking to each other. And so in many ways, the medium has really very much stayed the same.
Yes, I agree. Yes.
Yeah. Well, okay, Robert, let's move on to what we're really here to talk to you about. You're a former engineer. You're an entrepreneur. You have worked very hard in your Operation Hope Foundation. And let's just start there first. What exactly is, as you say, OHF, Operation Hope Foundation? What is it? What do you do?
Yeah, I think the first thing is operation. That means we must be involved in operation. Second, foundation is to lay the foundation for future work, And then hope is to give hope. So I started as a philanthropic, giving away money. I went to Philippines, Laos, many countries, and I found that money wasn't going to where I thought it was, So then I decided to start my own NGO in Cambodia. So, okay, we're talking about...
Sorry, where was the money going that you didn't expect it to go?
Well, you see, a lot of people will come to me to say, well, I got this project, and can you donate to the project? So, he tells you a very nice story, and you donate to him. Then later on, you find that, where did my money go to? Can you explain then? Answers wasn't...
And was it, you don't have to be specific, but was it mismanagement? Was it corruption? Where did the money often go?
Well, a lot of it goes to his own personal expenses.
Right.
Okay.
In a way, it is understandable because he has to make a living for himself and his family.
Yeah, sure.
But it's not helping the people it's supposed to help, right?
The ratio, we're talking about ratio, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so you first went to Cambodia, you said. Why Cambodia, and what is it you were trying to do there?
Well, in 1994, I still remember December 26, I watched the program Inside Asia, and it was on child prostitution. So that troubles me a lot, And then I got called to say, hey, you go to Cambodia and help the children. And so I decided to go there in 1995, which was very dangerous. And since then, I never looked back. Yeah.
And was you an engineer at this time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So, and you say you never looked back. What did you do over there? What did you set up?
Okay, so it was very interesting in a way that I never planned to do this and that. Not like a business or you plan this. So I just went there. I know there was a Singapore missionary in a province called Preveng. So I thought, hey, let me see her. And then my first job was to give old clothing. And I got some schools in Singapore, and then we sent a container of old clothing. And then during this project, I saw a disused villa, owned by a official. And I said, hey, this could be a youth center or children's home, Maybe I buy it, And yeah, eventually I bought it, yeah. And then I converted into a children's home. Yeah, so I became an architect, engineer, everything is all in one.
Wow.
And super stressful because you cannot trust a contractor. And I asked for volunteers. Nobody wants to go to Cambodia at that time. So I got a friend who's a structural engineer. I said, hey, Edmund, teach me something so that I can understand and make sure the building is constructed properly, Yeah, so I tell people, do what is needed, not what you know or what it's like. What you like.
So many times, the people with philanthropic endeavors go and say, "Hey, we think you guys need this. We think you need more pencils, or we need your computers, or you need whatever." And the people are like, "Well, actually, we need electricity first,
yes.
or we need clean water, or we need whatever." Right? So do you find in this world that you have been operating very successfully in, that there is maybe a lack of finding out what's really necessary for people?
Oh, that is very, very true. When I first started, I spent alternate months in Cambodia. 1 month Cambodia, 1 month Singapore. 1 month Cambodia, 1 month Singapore for 2 years.
Wow.
And that is how I learned about what is needed, It's true, What I don't like is tokenism. You do something, I help the poor. No, sorry. You're not helping the poor. And people love this phrase, make a difference. Really? Are you making a difference? So now, for example, we get volunteers and we build a very nice wooden house. It costs $4,000 to $5,000 for a family.
In Cambodia?
In Cambodia. Now that is making a difference. Because when you see the shed they're living in, and the nice wooden house that you give them, it is the world of difference. So I tell volunteers, you want to make a difference, but you have no time, you only got 4 days, 5 days, come with me, go to Cambodia, build a house, give to this family, and you really have made a difference.
Fantastic. So you go into Cambodia in the mid-90s, and then at a certain point you move into Nepal.
Yes.
When did that happen? How did that happen?
There was a missionary, and she wanted to make soap. She was struggling, so I boastfully said, I help you, So I quickly spent 2 months learning about soap, and then lo and behold, we managed to make soap from raw materials, palm oil, coconut oil, and all that, And then that's where I sort of fell in love with Nepal. It's a beautiful country, beautiful people, And really, all these things you do is not logical.
What do you mean?
You got to come from the heart. You got to come from the heart.
I see.
Yeah, because if you want to say, what benefit is that to me? What's the danger? And you are so fearful of your life. Is it safe or not? Then you shouldn't do it.
So you've got Nepal, you've got Cambodia. You put it together. You got Operation Hope Foundation, which you are the founder of. We're talking to Robert Key. Then you develop this extraordinary program or process where you get this 80% benefit to cost ratio. So we'll get to that. But before that, what were you seeing going wrong? Where was all the money going? Where was it the holes where it was all siphoning away? What were the problems you were seeing?
I think we were seeing what we always like to talk about this thing, impact assessment, but very few people really talk about the real impact assessment. Is the beneficiary life truly changed? Now, if you look at a lot of websites and then you ask this question, so a lot of impact assessment is on big statistics, big numbers, but it's not at the ground level. It's not. So what is really needed is you're right. What is needed? And you plug in the gap, So I saw that there's a lot of broken sheds, so housing is needed. And at that time, there was no water, so I started to do well. And then there was no toilet, so I started to do toilet, But a lot of people goes on numbers. They build a toilet to be shared by a community and say, well, we help thousands of people because of one toilet. But we found, if you build one toilet to share in the community, who is going to clean and maintain the toilet?
Right, yeah.
No way. So we give one toilet per family, not one toilet per community. So it's this thing, but it costs money. One toilet per family, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, it costs money, but that works. So do you play the numbers game, or do you look at? Now we give $4,000 to $5,000 for a house per family. Very few charities will do that because the numbers is not good.
That sounds like a place like rural Cambodia or Laos or something. That sounds like a lot of money. $5,000 to build a house. Could it be done for less?
We yes, it should be done for less.
I mean,
depend on the material. So
yeah.
a lot of other charities, they use zinc. That is oven, zinc walls and zinc roof.
Sure.
So I say, look, if I want to build a house, it must be something that is, I myself will find it livable. So I mean, with a zinc roof, when it rains, you know,
Quite loud,
noisy.
yeah.
So we use corrugated tiles that are insulated thermally and don't have noise. And then we use nice wooden walls, you know. And then we use bamboo floors and we put it on stilt because Cambodians like to stay underneath it.
Yeah.
So it's very cool,
Yeah.
you know. So, no, it's not expensive. Yeah. We are always trying to look for cheaper ways, but it depends on the material you use.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
I know you place a lot of emphasis on donor trust. This is a big thing to all of our listeners, all Singaporeans. I have personal examples. I won't name the charity, but for a while I was donating every month to an animal charity in Singapore. And my wife and I eventually stopped because I know the overheads were becoming greater than the money that was going to where it needed to go. I'm thinking of every dollar I'm giving based upon they've got to pay the CEO, they've got to pay the comms team, they have to pay this team, that team.
Yeah.
I'll be lucky if 10 cents of my dollar is getting to the animal sanctuary I want it to get to. So I stopped. Donor trust is such a big issue. People will give money if they believe the money is going where it needs to go. How do you get donor trust?
I always tell the donors, please don't ask charities what they do. They can impress you with a lot of things. Ask them, how do you do it? You know, you raised a very good point. 2002, there was a huge flood in Manahari in Nepal. So I decided to do a flood relief project and give rice, medicine to 1,000 families, you know. So I said, because at that time there was the Maoist civil riots, and so it was a bit dangerous. So they said, why don't you get a junior minister to be a VIP, and then he'll bring the police. So I sat next to him, you know. And then he said, young man, this is your first time, right? I say, yes, Excellency, it's my first time. How do you know? I say, you know, television cannot capture 1,000 families. People will break it down into 300 families, and then you get 3 video shots. Why you do all in one, you know? And then one of my volunteer came and he fell down, you know, so he came to see me. Oh, you know, I got this problem. And they say, where is your videographer and all that? I said, my volunteer said, no, young man, you don't do things like that. When people come, they will come with videographer, photographer, the whole team, you know. And I came with my friend, and we took a bus, $3, about 8 hours, and we wanted to stay in the church to save money.
Yeah.
So, and all the expenses regarding the relief was paid by me. So 100% of donation went to the relief. So this is something. Then the other thing that I really want to emphasize is, you don't know what you don't know. They call it unknown. You don't know what you don't know. Let's say if you do a flood relief, the people are there with sacks of rice. Fine. Where is the fraud? You know, but when I was in Nepal, luckily my staff told me we were giving 20 kg bags, 1,000 bags, and the vendor say, hey, instead of 20 kg, put 15 kg. And then the 5 kg times 1,000, we split the difference. And the vendor told my staff, nobody doing flood relief ever weigh a bag. Nobody weighs.
What?
Nobody weighs the rice bag. You see the photos, oh, very nice. You know. Then when I was doing the same relief in Cambodia, one villager refused to take my rice. My goodness, what's wrong with? So I went to see him. I said, excuse me, why do you not want my rice? And he looked at it. No, your rice is poor quality, broken sand. So the vendor cheat you. So when you see the sack of rice, first, nobody measure the weight. Second, nobody check the quality. So there is fraud, but you don't know. It's unknown. You do not know what you do not know.
So how do you fix that?
That's why it's through 30 years of experience. So that's why I'm now on this campaign. Please, I'm willing to teach free of charge to convert your unknown into known knowns. Because what is unknown to you is known to me. I'm willing to teach, provided they're willing to come and listen. So I think it's this willingness to admit that, well, there could be fraud, we could do things better, and we are willing to improve. But that is harder to admit,
What is the formula? What is the process you've put into place to make sure that 80% or more gets actually to the people, to the need that needs to be in terms of the donations?
Yes, I think, as you said, the last mile is very important. So what happened is, for a lot of international charities, they do not do the execution. They actually depend on the local charity to do the execution.
And just maybe explain to our listeners what last mile donation means.
So let's say like building a house or a well or toilet or whatnot. The actual construction of the house, the actual construction of the toilet, that is the last mile. So an international charity may give the money to a local charity. The local charity may give to a contractor, then the contractor will build it. So you have multiple layers. It may be A, B, C, D, E.
And at every step, money disappears, vanishes.
Right? Every step, money vanishes. So this is very common. But in a country that's very poor and corruption is very high, then you have to make sure the local charities are not corrupt. There are 58,000 NGO charities in Nepal.
58,000.
Wow.
Registered NGOs.
Yeah.
What are they all doing? The country should look like Singapore.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? You go and Google it. Yeah. So what are they doing? Really?
Where's the money going?
58,000. Yes. So that's why donors must ask, when they give money, how do you deliver? How do you deliver? No, let's talk about, we have a children's home, We take the children.
The one in Cambodia.
In Cambodia and Nepal. We take it and we have a beautiful home. I call it a 7-star hotel. Because my children's home in Cambodia is 80,000 square feet.
What?
Yeah.
And this
separate
is
dormitory.
For orphans or for which kind of children?
Maybe more. Okay, there are very few who are orphans.
Okay.
But there are a lot of abandoned children, single parents, single mothers. So we have very strict criteria. We take only those children that are really in the very desperate condition, Let me give you an example. Recently, I just came back from Cambodia, and this man, he was army soldier. He took leave because he wanted to look after his wife, and then he borrowed 1,004, but the wife eventually died. And now with the Cambodia-Thailand conflict, he was called back to go to serve in the border.
Right. Yeah.
Then what will happen to his 2 kids? Yeah, so he said, can you look after my 2 kids? I said, well, no choice, right?
Yeah.
So we look at situations like that. So I think what I'm trying to tell people is, yes, children's home or orphanages, they may not be properly run, because where is the governance? Now, if I start a children's home on my own, then there is no governance, because I'm the manager, I collect the money, nobody oversees. So I always have a governance. So in that case, my children's home in Cambodia is overseen by Singapore. Yeah. We go there regularly, we Zoom many times a day, So we oversee and make sure it is run well.
So the difference is you're cutting out a lot of the middlemen. You are working directly all the way to the last mile.
Yes.
You're involved to the last mile directly.
Correct. Yeah. So like we building the well, I have my own. It was so fascinating. I have my own well drilling rig, And when I first saw it, it was so amazing because when you drill the hole, water shoot out like a fountain, Wow, just like drilling oil,
Yeah.
I never seen it. Oh, this, my goodness. Yeah, so we have our own lorries, we have our own well drilling rig, we have our own. So whatever we build, a UV water system for school, house, well, all these, we do it ourselves. Like the UV water system for schools to provide safe drinking waters for children, I designed myself, and it has been working for 10 years. Yeah.
Do you have a close working relationship with the governments, the local governments? How does that work? Do they get upset? Are they happy? Do you have to involve them? How does it work?
Oh no, they are very, very, very happy with me, and we are actually next to the provincial governor, and he comes almost every 3 months to donate rice and things like that. They're actually very happy. We have been in Cambodia for over 20 years, so we know the whole infrastructure from the district governor, provincial governor, community chief, village chief.
How big is Operation Hope Foundation now? Do you have how many full-time staff, volunteers?
We are very thin in Singapore. There's only three full-time staff, one part-time.
Based here?
Yeah. But I have about 35 staff in Cambodia.
Right.
A lot more in Cambodia.
That's part of what helps you keep the cost down, right?
Yes, correct.
We're talking with Robert Key, the founder of Operation Hope Foundation. Robert, recently you opened a new resort in Nepal.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Pokhara in Nepal. How does a luxury resort fit into Operation Hope?
Yeah, actually, having done this for 30 years, the best way you can help the poor actually is to give them a job, And so, I'm 78 years old. So this is my last legacy that I'm going to build, So what I want to do in Nepal is to elevate the tourist experience. We want tourists to go to a really nice resort. Now, that's a lot of mountain hotels, but they are actually meant for trekkers. That means one night stay, then go to trekking. So it's not meant for you to stay 3 or 4 nights, So I wanted to have a resort that is really a resort. So it's something.
It's beautiful. It looks like it's on a mountaintop and
yes.
up in the mountains, and
Yes.
it's gorgeous looking. That picture I've seen.
And it's so luckily I got my son and my daughter-in-law to involve me. So there's a lot of personal things in that resort, So you see in the resort we got the animals and a giraffe and all that. And that was my daughter-in-law. She wanted these giraffes and these animals. I said, yeah, okay, And the ID, the paintings, all that. Okay, she's in charge, And then my son, he's very good at managing the finances and the payment to the contractors. So thank goodness I have 2 of them. If not, I will be really overwhelmed. But it's so happy to find. It took me 6 years to finally get it done.
Is it a family-owned resort, or do you have outside investors supporting you?
Owned by my wife and myself. Yeah.
Just you?
Yes. Yeah, my
and
wife.
the initiative is to create as many local jobs as possible to bring employment to the community?
Yes, I think we want to bring employment to the community, and also I also want to encourage more Singaporeans to invest. We are the only Singaporean. I don't see many other foreign-owned hotels in Nepal. So except Indians. You take away the Indian ownership. I don't see a Thai-owned hotel or a Taiwanese. So we are the first one.
Why is that, do you think?
Because it's very difficult.
Yeah, well, you can tell.
It's hard, yeah.
So I think the reason it's easy for me because I spent 20 years in Nepal. I know Nepal very well. So a lot of things, it's okay. This is Nepal. But if you're a fresh Singaporean, this is nonsense. But to me, no, this is the way of life. You know how they work. So don't fight them. You got to adapt yourself to the culture and the system. But it takes 25 years.
Well, after those 25 years building businesses, charities, what advice would you give to individuals and maybe businesses, companies who want to start donating or investing in charities? What should they look for before they donate?
Yeah, I think, as I said, look for how the project is being executed. You know, who is executing the project, and what is the cost of that project. You know, go down to the actual details. You know, like for example, one of our projects I'm very happy is we found that there are lots of poor students. Now, in one district, Prey Sadek, there were 57 primary school and 12 secondary school. Oh, excuse me, 57 primary, 12 secondary. Why such a high dropout? And because a lot of primary school children drop out. You know why they drop out? Because they skip classes. Why they skip classes? They got to earn money.
They have to work.
Yeah, they got to work.
Yeah.
They no. So we have this program. Say, okay, for the very poor student, every 2 months we will give the family a food pack. You know, 50 kg of rice, cooked oil, canned food, everything, provided the student do not skip classes. And it really works fantastically.
Wow.
But I can tell you, every cost of every item that goes in the food pack, I know. Now, during the Nepal earthquake, we realized that, you know, it was very interesting. I saw a lot of earthquake. And then when I went to Kathmandu, I asked my friend, hey, where's the earthquake? I don't see any earthquake. Apparently, it's only in one area of Kathmandu.
Right.
Not the whole of Kathmandu.
Is that right? Oh.
Yeah, it's only one small area. Most of the houses that were destroyed were in the mountainous area. Because in the mountain, you cannot carry, there's no road access. You can't carry bricks and all that. So they're all built with mud and stone. So that's why they all collapse. So I said, well, then what is the solution? So I saw this from US, you know, it's not my idea. They call it earth bag house. So I call it rice bag. So we bring empty rice bag, carry it up and fill it up with soil. And then, you know, so we build what I call rice bag house, which is earthquake resistant, thermal resistant.
Yeah, this was amazing.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of this rice bag house.
Yeah, this rice bag house. Yeah.
Like, how smart, right?
Yeah, correct. Cheap and most important.
So you fill the rice bag with soil.
Soil, yes.
And pack it down.
And pack it down. And then sew it. And then we put certain rebars in and all that. We built 155 of those houses.
Wow.
But then, you see, the cost is personal. You know, so I went to check it. And in Dussini, I got to live in a one-man tent. And that was in January. You know.
Cold.
Very cold. It's a one-man tent. And then my Apple told me, I was so surprised that I walked 33,000 steps that one day.
Oh my gosh.
And I got cartilage problems.
Oh my gosh.
So it was very painful.
Yeah.
But today, I got total knee replacement on both knees.
Oh.
But during that, I didn't have it. It was very painful.
Wow. Robert, you're 78 years old, you said?
Yes.
Retiring? Is that a possibility?
No,
Never for you?
Never retire.
Keep going.
Yeah. I mean, it's the reverse. I tell people, look, I got not many years left, so must do more before the end comes.
Wonderful.
You know,
wonderful.
Of course, we want people to make sure to support, Operation Hope Foundation. Give generously. The money is going where it needs to go. But also, if people want to have a holiday, go to the holiday resort in Pokhara.
Yes,
it's part of the Centara collection, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this, most hotels are actually run by operators.
Yep.
So Centara is the operator. Yeah.
Got it.
They
So it's called the Himalayan Hideaway Resort,
Yes.
Pokhara.
Yes. Pokhara. Yes.
Yeah, so you can go there and have a nice holiday, but at the same time,
Yes.
supporting locals. Now, the last question I have for you is, where are we in Singapore? Is Singapore doing well with its philanthropy? So we do see some people giving to universities. They build a library of this or that. It has increased over the 21 years I've been in Singapore and Neil's time in Singapore. But how are you feeling about how Singaporeans are giving their wealth away? Are they doing it the right way?
We need to do more overseas. Now, I always tell people about SOS Kinderdorf. this is an Austrian charity, and the last I heard, the annual budget, amazing, 700 million euros. Now, Austria has a population of 8 million. GDP per head is lower than Singapore. Singapore, 6 million. Not much different from Austria.
Yeah.
And yet, Austria has a charity that does overseas work with an annual donation of 700 million euros. That is almost $1 billion Singapore dollars. Can we in Singapore do 10%, 100 million, or 1%, 10 million overseas? No, you've got to ask ourselves, why Austria can do that? What is stopping Singapore from doing 1% or 5% of SOZ Kinderdorf? Think about it.
What is your reason? Why do you think we don't do enough in Singapore?
I think publicity. That's why I'm so glad to be here. Not many people knows about the problem overseas and what is happening in all these countries and what can be done. So I think if more Singaporeans are aware, and I think to me it's endless opportunities. I see a lot of my friends who are retirees, and I said, hey, use your retirement to do something good. And many years ago, I went to a children's home. It was a Malaysian one in Cambodia. I met these 4 ladies from Malaysia. And they said, after retiring, they traveled the world, they got sick of it. So now their holiday is every year they will spend 3 months in Cambodia in the children's home. 4 of them. That's wonderful. Make a commitment. Every year we spend 1 month.
Giving back.
Yeah, giving back.
And if you want to give back, the Operation Hope Foundation, I'm looking at it now, it's ohf.org.sg. They're looking for volunteers. They're looking for individuals, small groups to volunteer and contribute, whether it's your time or financially. All the links are on the website. That's Operation Hope Foundation, ohf.org.sg.
Robert, we're going to leave it there, but thank you so much. Robert Key, the founder and chairman of Operation Hope Foundation. We really enjoyed having you on the show today.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I enjoyed sharing my experience. Thank you very much.
And wishing you all the best and inviting you to come back on anytime.
Oh, yes. I'll be most happy to do so. Yeah. Thank you very much.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at moneyfm893.sg